A late-night drive home turned into a nightmare when my roadside nap was interrupted by strange, scratching noises and a man sprinting out of the darkness. About 2 years ago, I was driving home from a family reunion late at night. The drive was about 2 hours, and I decided not to stay overnight because I had work the next day. Most of the route was along roads lined with dense bushes and tall trees, the kind you'd see in a suspense movie. After driving for about 45 minutes, I suddenly became very tired, almost out of nowhere. It was the kind of exhaustion you can't shake, no matter how hard you try. I realized I wasn't going to make it home safely without some rest, but I couldn't find a safe spot to park. Eventually, I did something I'm not particularly proud of. I pulled over onto the grass, behind some bushes, hoping to stay out of sight from other cars. The roads weren't completely deserted, but traffic was sparse, with a car passing every few minutes. I made a note of the time, 11:22 p.m., and I let myself fall asleep. A while later, I woke up to a strange scratching noise. I glanced at the clock. It was 11:50 p.m. The sound stopped after a few seconds. Still groggy and exhausted, I didn't think much of it and drifted back to sleep. Then at 12:40 a.m., I woke up again to the same sound, only this time, it didn't stop. It sent a chill down my spine. My first thought was that it might be an animal sniffing around the car, but what unsettled me was the timing. Why would it come back almost an hour later? I glanced in the rearview mirror and caught a glimpse of something darting into the woods. At that moment, my imagination ran wild. I thought of every scary story I'd ever heard and decided I wasn't going to stick around to find out. I started the car and drove off. About 100 yards down the road, I came around a bend and saw another car parked on the roadside, its driver's side door wide open. I slowed down to take a quick look, but I didn't see anyone inside. Just as I was about to keep going, I glanced in the rearview mirror again. This time, I saw a man sprinting around the corner behind me. He was yelling something, shouting for me to stop and get out of the car. His tone was frantic, almost aggressive. Needless to say, I didn't stick around to ask what he wanted. I pressed the gas pedal and drove as fast as I could until I was far away from that place. I never found out who he was or what he wanted, but it left me shaken. The lesson I learned: never sleep on the side of a deserted road, no matter how tired you are.